I am a huge book nerd. It all started in 2004 when, for my 4th birthday, I got my first Dr. Seuss book, Go Dog Go, which I used to teach myself to read. I read my first chapter book at age 5, and then read The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien in kindergarten at age 6, when I was classified as a grade 9 reader in kindergarten. I read all 7 of the Harry Potter books in 6 days, and since then have read the series over 17 times. I have 3 bookshelves of double-shelved books and owe about $68 in overdue fees to the Akron Library. I have watched and complained about how directors ruin books when they become movies, but I keep watching movies anyway. Through my adventures in my stories, I've lived 1,000 lives, loved 1,000 times, and seen 1,000 battles. I love to read, but through all these years, hundreds of books, thousands of chapters, and billions of words, one thing happens every time. When people interrupt you while you're reading. I can't stress this enough. You could be in the corner with a book right in front of you, and people still come over and try to start conversations. Can't you see I'm busy catching a golden snitch, or falling in love with a handsome stranger, or brutally murdering other teenagers in a forest with a bow? Geez, you're so rude. Anyway, today I'm trying to give you some pointers on what to do when people try to talk to you, when they interrupt you, and how to repel them. Okay, picture this. You're in the middle of running away from the major antagonist of a story, and, oh, I guess you never know what's going to happen next, because someone saw you sitting alone and suddenly decides to become your best friend. You can see the pity in their eyes as they ask you how you're doing and why you're sitting alone. You may seem shy to the eyes of those who just don't understand it, but the whole time they're talking, you're just trying to think of things that you could do to make them go away. Also, did you know that the New York Times says that the average person only has 11 minutes between interruptions? These interruptions happen most of the time for me in one major environment. At an event or at school, anywhere there are a lot of people around. At these places, it is pretty obvious who is what kind of personality, and as a bystander, it is fun to watch and observe how people react to certain things, and to you. Some people will make eye contact and look away. Some will totally ignore you altogether, and some people recognize you and then go into an internal dilemma, wondering whether or not you're okay. I'm not making fun of the people who want everyone to be included and have a good time. In fact, that can be a nice sentiment. It is those people who continue to ramble on and get on my nerves. To avoid being one of those people, try doing this instead. If you see someone sitting alone, go over and say hi. If they're doing something or if they give you an annoyed look, just be welcoming and walk away. However, if they put down what they were doing or answer your question and seem encouraged by the conversation, then go ahead, because they probably feel a little awkward about sitting alone. If you're the person reading, try and make it obvious that you don't want to be bothered, otherwise you might get stuck listening to someone talk about their pet dog or how much they hate the homework you got assigned. However, have no fear, because I have some regularly used ideas on how to get rid of someone trying to ruin your life by being social. First, you can ignore the person. Just sit there and continue to read. Try to look so immersed in your story that you didn't even hear them. After a few seconds of not getting a response, they might just awkwardly walk away. Second, if you don't want to be mean, you can politely engage in short conversations. Give them 1 or 2 word answers until they run out of conversation. This is the most polite response and my go-to reaction. Third, if you want them to just go away, put on headphones in, and when you see someone heading in your direction, try and politely tell them to buzz off. This is an example of one of my biggest pet peeves and what to do when people try to talk to you, when they interrupt you, and how to repel them. Thank you for listening, and please be courteous of your fellow nerds, because we spend a lot of time on Tumblr, and we will turn you into a meme.